Hi, today I want to talk a little bit about eBay and how to get started on eBay. This is not a in-depth, detailed step-by-step process as far as telling you how to set up everything and what to do and so forth and so on. You just need to set up an account, and I'll explain how to do that. And then you just need to get in there and do your thing. And this is a follow-up to last week's video that I put out about side hustle money, eBay being one of them. And I had a couple of responses about eBay, and people were excited about it. And I figured let me go on a little bit more about it and tell you a little bit about how to go about doing this. All right, the old saying is one man's trash is another man's treasure. This is a proverb that's been around since the 18th century. It reflects the idea that one person sees something as worthless where another may find it valuable, which is perfect for eBay sellers. While we don't have a specific person to credit with this saying, the phrase has stood out, as a test of time. And honestly, it could be the unofficial motto of yard sales, flea markets, and eBay sellers everywhere. All right, now eBay is pretty easy to set up an account. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll walk you through it in a simple, no stress way. You can do this from your phone, your tablet, or computer. So let's get rolling. All right, again, my name is John, and thank you for coming back to my channel if you're a subscriber. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate it that you're checking us out, and I would appreciate it even more if you would subscribe to the channel and like this video. And if you have comments, good, bad, or indifferent, put them in the comment section. The last video I did, I had a couple of good comments about other side hustle opportunities that people are doing. And I may try to contact these people and see if they want to do a like an interview type of thing because I have this software that I can do that type of thing. That may happen in the future, but I'm going to keep it simple right now. All right. Again, you got to create an eBay account. Go to ebay.com, ebay.com, and click register on the top. There'll be on the top left, there'll be a section that says login and then register. And as soon as you hit register, it'll bring you to a next page. It'll say click here if you're a human, and you got to click that, and then it'll go to another page where you have to put uh, that the last time I did it, I wanted to check it out. It had three animals leaping in the air that you had to pick out, and they had a couple pictures of tigers just laying there on just flat on their back or flat on their sides and whatever. But they had a couple of pictures of tigers in the air, and that's how you verify it. So once you get through that page, you'll get to the next page where it'll say choose personal or business account. You're not at that stage yet that you want to choose a business account. You want to choose a personal account. And then you got to set up other things on there. For instance, in order to get paid, you have to have it linked to a bank account. So once the buyer pays eBay or pays you through eBay, eBay will ultimately send it to your bank account. Now, you have to choose something to sell. And I said last week the best places to find things are in your own home. Go shopping in your own space. Look for things like clothes, shoes, or accessories you don't wear anymore, old phones, chargers or electronics, DVDs, video games, CDs, collectibles like toys or kitchen items, anything, decor you don't use anymore. If you haven't used it in a year, you probably don't need it. So get rid of it. It's helping you declutter your house. Here's a breakdown of the most consistently popular categories that sell well in 2025. And I'm just going to read the broad categories: electronics and accessories, clothing and shoes, accessories for clothing, video games and consoles. Let me see. Home and garden items, books, media, toys and baby gear, parts and do it yourself, Even broken gadgets or missing pieces may sell for parts. And that's true. I've bought some things on eBay sometimes because all I needed was one part off of it and I didn't need the whole item. But that one part was much more expensive than just buying the whole used unit on eBay. And the part came off easily and I used it and it was fine for me. All right, so what you want to do next is after you find something that you want to sell, make sure it's small enough that it's easy to ship and it's light enough. You don't want it to be too heavy because the best listings are those that say, I'll ship it for free. People like the idea of free, but you have to build that into your cost. I mentioned that in my previous video. You're there to make some money. And if you're going to sell something that you already own, you don't remember how much you paid for that handbag 15 years ago, or maybe you did, but you want to be able to sell it and make a profit. And if you list it for $40 and it sells at $40, you got to include, or you don't have to include free shipping, but again, it's an incentive for people to buy that particular item because they don't have to worry about shipping. To them, in their mind, it's all inclusive. Again, if you want to sell that item and you want to pay for the shipping, you may want to increase that price a little bit. Maybe you want to go up to $45 and you want to list it for $48. Whatever you think may cover your shipping costs if you're going to offer free shipping. If you're not going to offer free shipping, that's fine too. There'll be a calculator that'll tell the buyer how much they're going to have to pay for that shipping. And it's all done automatically now. I haven't sold on eBay in over a year. And there's a lot of new things that I have to reacquaint myself to. I have a lot of things that I need to sell. I'm trying to declutter my home. I'm trying to declutter things I've accumulated around my store and things like that. Uh, and then you got to create your listing. You got to click sell on the top of the page. Type in what you're selling. eBay will help you autofill and pricing suggestions. Add a clear title. Make sure you put good pictures in it and put an honest, good description in it as far as the condition of the item. If it's a used item, make sure you mention any flaws. So when the person gets it, they're going to say, hey, this thing had a little chip on it. It wasn't pictured in the description. I don't want it. They're going to go back to eBay and say, hey, this guy shipped me this and it was not the way it was supposed to be. And you got to go back and forth. So make sure that every flaw is mentioned so there's no comeback on you. And then you got to set your price. There's two ways to do it. I mentioned before, there's two formats. There's an auction format or there's a buy it now format. The buy it now format is where you put a fixed price on it for a specific period of time. And then it'll be listed up there. And once it sells, you'll get that price for it. Now, there's an opportunity for you to click on another little box in there and says, hey, I'll take a better offer. So person can make an offer and you can set the limitations to that offer. Now, suppose again, you have something listed for $40 and you'll take as low as 35 for it. So you can put it in it down at below that you'll take an offer for it. And a lot of people do that. They'll come back with an offer. And if you set it for that particular price, you're obligated to sell it at that price. But if the offer is way out of line, you can counter offer. There's other things you can do to sell that item. Now, you can also put it as an auction. You start low in price. Now, say that go back to that $40 item. You can start it at $4. And if somebody's interested in it, they're going to bid on it. And you may have competitor bids on it. Now, the key word is may have competitor bids. That item, if your starting price on that item is $4, somebody can bid $4 and you get no other bids throughout the course of that auction. you're obligated to sell that for $4. There's ways to take it down, but that's a little bit tacky and uh, yeah, you don't want to do that because it gives you a bad reputation. Now, regarding the reputation, what you need to do once that item sells, you need to ship the item promptly. You have to make sure it's packaged well. You want to get it to the buyer in great shape in a timely manner. And then hopefully the buyer will leave a rating for you. And that's what you're trying to do. When you're a new seller, you start out at 0 and you want to get up your ratings to at least 10 or 15. People will look at that ratings, and if you have no negative uh, remarks about your ratings, people will be more inclined to buy from you. They'll think, hey, he or she is a reputable seller, and I'm going to buy from that particular person. Now, again, I started on eBay, let's see, I think I said last week, February of 1998. And I have over 2,000 ratings, 2,036 to be exact right now. Now, a lot of those things that I sold, people never bothered giving me ratings. And I can almost guarantee that those 2,000 some odd are only a quarter of what I've sold on eBay over the years. But that's okay. You're just trying to get your ratings up the best you possibly can to make you into a credible uh, seller. And it, let's get into sourcing. All right, you've gone through all your stuff at the house. You don't, you said, oh God, there's nothing else I could sell in the house. You can hit flea markets if you're knowledgeable about what to look for and what's selling on eBay. You can hit yard sales. You can hit thrift shops. Now, go in with knowledge. Knowledge is power. Nowadays, with the advent of the smartphones, it's so much easier to go to a yard sale, and if you see something, look up that item and see if it's on eBay. And it may be a gem that you're going to be able to buy. Who knows? I mean, you may hit the jackpot. You're more apt to pick up something at a yard sale or a flea market, uh, or actually a thrift shop. I guess the flea market is maybe better for people who are, if they're just starting, selling and sourcing items. Go to the flea markets early. Go to a reputable flea market that has a good clientele. Make sure you go all the way in the back where the day sellers come in. And the day sellers come in and they just take stuff out of their house and they stuff it in their car and they go to the flea market and they'll set up on a blanket or they'll bring a table with them. And they're trying to sell their stuff because they decided they didn't want a yard sale. It's probably better. You get more visibility at a flea market anyway. Plus, a lot of yard sales you can't do in some neighborhoods because of restrictive covenants. So go there early, bring a flashlight, bring something to carry your stuff in after you buy it. And don't be afraid if somebody's starting to unpack their car, go up and say, hey, do you have any signage, any advertising things, any of this, any of that? What you're looking for, again, is clothing, name brand clothing, gently used, vintage type of things. All right, eBay, let me get back to when the item sells. eBay will tell you the buyer's address. You can use eBay to print your shipping label on it, and you'll get a discount on it. Pack it well, as I mentioned, add the label, and drop it off at the post office, UPS, or FedEx, whatever way you choose to send it. Build up your reputation. As I mentioned, be honest, ship fast, and respond to questions quickly. You'll get positive feedback, which builds trust for future buyers. Here's a couple of bonus tips. Start small and build confidence in yourself. Use the eBay app for managing sales on the go. Check out what similar items sold for by filtering sold items. I mentioned that before. If you have something and you said, well, I wonder how much it's worth, you can always go to sold listings. It's on the left-hand side, all the way down at the bottom. Just click on that and see what has sold previously that's similar to that item. Now, with sports cards and magic cards and things like that, it's easy because there's a lot of them out there. And when I sell cards, I always look on the left hand side and said, well, it's sold for $50. And if I get on the active auctions, the lowest price may be $50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be smart about it, and I'm going to put my auction at, or not even an auction, I'm going to put it as a buy it now, free shipping at $48 or $47.99. Always go with the $47.99, instead of a whole number. Uh, Whatever you want, $35.99, $19.99. It looks better. Essentially, to the buyer, it said, "Oh, I'm getting it for $19." That 99 cents doesn't register. That's from what I've been told a long time ago, and that's how retailers price their stuff on their shelves. Uh, Again, use free shipping to attract more buyers. And again, just factor it into your price. So that's it for today. That's all I have. I don't think there's anything else that I want to talk about. Um, Maybe next week I'll talk about a little bit more as far as getting into specifics, what you should really be looking for, those broad categories that I put out. I may break them down for you, make it a little bit easier. Don't be afraid to sell on eBay. It's fun. Just as I was afraid, and I'm sure you were afraid to start your YouTube channels. Once you started it, it's fun. I enjoy recording. I get a kick out of it. It makes me laugh. I'm always thinking about ways that I can try to help somebody. And this is my way today of trying to help you make extra money on eBay. So if you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you want to subscribe to the channel, if you haven't done so already, I, I would appreciate it. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal, and hopefully I'll get there soon. I'm working at it. It's not easy, but just like anything in life, it's not easy. Just like eBay is not going to be easy for you. It's straightforward, but you got to work at it, and you can make a decent living out of it if you are tenacious about it. List a couple of items. Think about how many of these items you can sell and ship during the week. If you're if you're working still, it's going to be a little bit more cumbersome because you have to find time to list your items. You have to find time to pack them up and bring them to the post office or whatever way you're going to ship it out. If you're retired and you're just looking for extra money and you're sitting around doing nothing, this is an opportunity for you to make extra money. And it's not that hard to do. If you want notifications of my next video, hit the notifications bell down below and put comments in here. If you can think of anything else that I might have missed, put it in the comment section and I'll mention it the next time. So thank you for listening today. I do appreciate it. Everybody have a good day. Bye. Hi. Today I want to talk about selling on eBay. This is going to be basically a primer about how to get started on eBay. Last week I had talked uh, about selling on eBay briefly, about flea markets, yard sales, mystery shopping, and thrift stores, and how to get products and have side hustle money. These are things that I did. So, I was, let me cut this out. Hi, today I want to talk about selling on eBay. This is basically going to be a primer. This is not going to be a total eBay step by step uh, walkthrough about how to do it. It's You got to do it. You got to get in there and you got to follow the instructions and so forth and so on and make your mistakes along the way. So that's what today is. It's just a primer. It's to help you get started. Now, last week I had talked about eBay. I talked about yard sales. I talked about mystery shopping, uh, thrift stores, and yard sales and flea markets. If I repeated that again, Let me stop that again. All right. This is the next take. This is the third take.